This is the Tier 10 Chinese Tech Tree Heavy, the BZ75. It is a vehicle that I have talked about a lot prior to its initial release in World of Tanks Blitz. I've showcased its statistics, ran a lot of good games with it with both guns, and even did 7,000 damage games in it. But something I haven't really talked about with this vehicle prior to its derp gun is the stock 130mm that it carries. And as you can see, its DPM along with its reload and average damage is basically the same of an IS-7. Having 2,458 damage per minute with 11.23 seconds of reload time, and for the average damage being a 460 on the standard, 390 on the premium, and 600 on the high explosive. But there is something that does take advantage from this gun over the IS-7 is the fact that it has better aiming time and dispersion at 3.3 with 0.292 dispersion, and its penetration is actually slightly better, sitting at 281 on the standard, 367 on the premium, and 79 on the high explosive. The only initial problem with that is that this thing carries heat shells while the IS-7 carries APCRs. And when you're trying to cut through the side of spaced armor like an E100, maybe even a mouse at certain times, even a VKS 9001, even an IS-7 in that regards, it's gonna be a little bit of a less piercing effect when it comes into play with what vehicle that you're trying to hit onward to the side, which is actually kind of unfortunate considering that the majority of vehicles have heat shells as their secondary premium ammunition, or their twos to be exact. While some of them do end up having APCRs, which Wargaming decided to implement and change certain vehicles by having APCR standard to try to get more of a feel to see if some of that standard ammunition would have more of a piercing effect to take advantage over heat. But that is the slight advantage from APCRs, or probably having APCR premiums over APCR standards and heat shells as the premium. So anyways, here we are in our first game. I did not pay attention to the lineup as I was trying to explain in depth about the different shells that are featured on certain vehicles, but E100, they have a 7.52 as well. Alright, so it looks like they don't have anybody over here at the moment. No idea what our E75 is doing. It looks like he might be trying to spot what's going to cross over here, but I don't happen to see anything but a Grill 15 coming in behind us, which is crazy. Alright, so let's just go to get a 596 tap into him. That's a fairly solid start as he is not running Spall Liner, which is unfortunate upon his behalf. So maybe he's probably going to make a dire mispoke a second time, if we're not mistaken. So we're actually going to stay put right here. We are actually in a fairly solid spot to see if we can try to deal with this grill furthermore. Alright, well, we also got an E4 off to the side. We're just going to wait right here. Alright, there's a 7.52 that's going low. Alright, there is an E4 over here as well. Alright, we got the E100 as well. He's probably going to poke. Let's just wait and see, which is, there we go, 475 tap into him. And just like I mentioned before, the gun on this thing is actually fairly solid, and it somewhat can take slightly of an advantage over its derp gun counterpart. I do not want to poke that E100 as he is just eyeballing me like crazy. We also got the 7.52 coming off towards our side. So, alright, looks like the E100 is getting pecked off for a little bit, so that gives us the mirror advantage too. Get a nice fire for 667 into the side of his vehicle. Just like that, this gun is an absolutely hard hitter. Pretty much kind of similar to its derp gun, but in terms of alpha, this thing can actually pack a significant punch if you know where to aim properly on your enemies. Alright, well, we got a Caro coming in behind us. Alright, let's go ahead and aim in on that Caro for a 575 max roll. Oh my goodness. Alright, we're going to plop on our adrenaline real quick, and 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and finish off that Caro. We're going to low roll a 482 while at that. Well, we are going to lose this, but that doesn't take away from the fact that this gun is actually fairly solid in terms of this vehicle. So let's go ahead and aim in on that Caro and finish him off real quick before the 7.52 comes in on us. He's going to tap us for one, and which is totally alright if he taps me a second time. So we're just going to stay put right along here and get a nice 427 tap into his vehicle. We got the STV coming on as well. Looks like we got the grill in our rear. He taps me for 475. Alright, so we're just going to be eyeballing this object for now. And look at the pen factors. He can actually benefit that as well when you're trying to load in and deal a significant chunker to your enemies. But Unfortunately enough, our team could not withstand the majority of enemies that were pushing on over to the side, and that is an unfortunate loss. But it doesn't take away from the fact, like I said before, that this gun can actually be just as insane as the derp gun factors as. But look at that, that's 3,500 damage just by firing in a couple of shells in on our enemies like that. And it is quite obvious that we did top on the team in this one. So without further ado, let's go ahead and plop ourselves into our second battle and see how we can fare well. Majority of spaced armor on heat shells, like you saw, like we could just butter right through that 7.52's turret like absolutely nothing. This goes to show it mainly relies on the front and not really the side of spaced armor in regards to heat shells buttering right through, as they have less of a piercing effect than APCR premiums do. I did actually just learn that, as one of my guys that are frequent watchers of my streams actually ended up telling me that, so shout out to you if you're watching this video. So anyways, let's go ahead and plop into our second game. It looks like all of our guys are going left apparently. They have an E100, a 60 TP, a 121, T110 E4, and that looks like all they have in terms of their heavies and lights at that, mediums. That's what I meant to say, oh my goodness. Alright, so anyways, let's go ahead and mosey our way over here. See if we can get some nice taps into some of these guys over here. Let's hurry up and get on into the front line so we can do our job in assisting our team pretty much. So, come on, maneuverability, you can make it. Alright, well I want to go over here, as it looks like some of their guys are potentially trying to push on up at the moment. Like we got the prog right there, we got the E4 right off to the side, he fires, so let's see. Unfortunately, not able to get that tap out into the E4, which is unfortunate. Alright, so let's just go ahead and wait once again. Probably get a tap into one of these guys over here, unless the E4 makes another dire mispoke, which it looks like that he might. Alright, so here he comes, and there we go, 310 into his hatch. Nice shot at that. Alright, so we're just going to be reloading again. Alright, comprehensive 50 down gets cleared. Looks like we got the prog coming on down over here. Let's go ahead and get a quick tap for 491 into his vehicle. Alright, and now we got the E4 over here all by himself. Now gives us the opportunity to freaking kerblunker his sorry butt. So, let's get a 406 tap into his side right here. And we still have our adrenaline active. We can maybe get another tap into him real quick. Probably not. Unfortunately, not the case, as it looks like they have only 3 enemies remaining, which looks like that they are possibly going to be plopping up right behind us, or probably over the hill, if that's going to be the best case scenario apart from our team's behalf. So, we're just going to go ahead and mosey up with our Caro right over here, see where these enemies are at. So, I do assume the 183 would probably be off in the back somewhere, as he probably did expect us, or some of our vehicles, to be pushing on over towards the ruins. So, let's go ahead and continue moseying on forward. Oh, it looks like the 183 did manage to end up staying back. So let's just go ahead and mosey on over towards him. It looks like our team is going to clear him in the process, and we're probably not going to be able to get any more further damage out into him. So, ooh, hello, guys. Looks like we got a 60 behind us, and we also got the E100. Oh, boy, this looks like the end of my game apart from my path. Alright, so really all I could do is that I could just go right behind over here on this rock and kind of see if I can. Oh, he's got his tungsten ram, so I'm gonna have to scrape for this one, unless if he is unfortunate enough to pin me. Alright, it looks like he does miss, so not able to pen him at the moment, which is unfortunate, so we're just gonna have to rely on him to make a dire mispoke once again, if that ends up being the case. Okay, Ping, you don't. What is going on, bro? Holy cow. My tank just continued to move on forward, which is unfortunate. Okay. Well, we got the 60 right over there. We also got the E100. It looks like he's still on out in the open right here. We're going to go right at this E100 right here and help our prog out, just in case. Ooh, he gets blunkered and he's dead. Unfortunate. Okay, well, anyways, 60's being taken care of. That's good. So let's go ahead and mosey on towards the E100 real quick. Let's get a tap into his lower plate for 460 and then reloading once again. I'm going to take the hit for this guy unless if, ooh, he bounces, interestingly enough. So, that's good that we do end up tapping the side of his vehicle, or we do get into a face hug with him, and that is really good. So, reloading once again, we can spot the 60. It would be highly unlikely that we'd be able to get this tap out. And unfortunately, we were too late apart from that. But still, that is 2,000 plus damage that we still managed to withstand apart from this turbo battle. It was unfortunate enough that every one of my teammates decided to want to go left and then peck all the enemies off that are crossing over to the left side of the map. So that's still a fairly solid outcome. I did thought that we were going to get taken out apart from that. But that is all there is, or she wrote, for the BZ-75, including the fact that this gun can be slightly more accurate and can take advantage over its derp gun counterpart, even the IS-7, as it's basically the same gun with better dispersion times, and it's still a fairly solid foe to face till this day. So hopefully you guys did end up enjoying today's video, and if you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and make sure to turn on those bell notifications while you're at it so you do not miss out on any new videos. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out, y'all.